All right. Okay, now let me proceed. I have documents here that say, would this be a correct statement that you have already collected a total of 6 billion, 907 million, 6,720 pesos from DBM, you yourself?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. If that's on record, then it should be true.
No, it is true, right? Yes or
Yes,
no?
Mr. Chairman.
Because I don't like this should be, should be. What should be is not is. Now, that means you were collecting the checks. And where did you bring the checks after you collected them?
To our banks.
And your banks are Union Bank, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And also Asian United Bank,
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
and also DBO, BDO.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Did you put this money in these banks?
Yes,
No, no,
Mr.
no
Chairman.
point in lying. I already have your.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I did.
So you did, all right. And did you withdraw them afterwards?
We pay them to our suppliers. We transfer them to our suppliers.
Give me an example of payment to your suppliers.
Like payment to Tigerfield.
Tigerfield. How much did you pay Tigerfield?
What's based on the sales invoice.
Well, I'm asking the questions. You're answering me with a.
I don't have the records
No,
with
but you
me.
should remember, this was the first contract. This is the first contract that you got, right?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Now let me ask you a question. Who concocted this idea that you guys are going to supply the government with all these supplies? Was it you?
Pardon, Mr. Chairman?
Who concocted the idea that you'll form this corporation to supply the government? No, you already had the corporation. That you would enter into contractual arrangements to bid for these large amounts of supplies that you were going to supply the government.
It was a group. It was the board that decided that we would.
Who?
Well, Mr. Ong brought it up to the group, saying that there's this post sometime in March, Mr. Chairman.
In March. Well, in March, middle of March, last week of March.
Maybe middle or start of middle, maybe middle.
Yeah, middle. And what was his basis for proposing? What exactly did he propose? Here we go.
I don't remember the context of the.
I cannot remember. This is such a big step in your career. What were you before?
I was just doing projects on the side if I can.
No. What do you mean by projects on the side? You had no exact continuous sustainable.
Nothing. I was really more on invested in stocks, the stock market. That's really what I was doing. And if there's any projects that I can do, then I would act as a project manager.
So in other words, you're a big time investor. You were investing in stocks, right? You make it sound like you're big. You must be. You are big. You said you invested in stocks.
Mr. Chairman, this doesn't mean that we are big time by investing in stocks. I mean,
what's wrong with that? Why don't you admit it? How much did you have invested in stocks?
I invoke my right against self-incrimination.
No, you cannot. You cannot. There's no reason. There's no connection. You're probably
it's private, Mr. Chairman. It's private. Sorry, it's private for me.
No. There's nothing private in an inquiry involving government money that has been apparently
Mr.
stolen.
Chairman, it's not government money.
No,
it's
you
my
do not
personal
accept
money.
it here. You have to show me the connection. What is private about that? You mean to tell me you're willing to dupe the government and then say it's a private transaction?
Mr. Chairman, my personal.
Even in India, you're not going to have that. Even in China, you're not going to have that. Don't run away.
Mr. Chairman, but it's just like.
What? Like what? Like what?
I'm being pressured to give details that.
I'm not being pressured. You're the one pressuring yourself. You do not want to answer the question. If you don't want to answer the question, we're going to go and keep on asking the questions. which is a fair question. You say, this is a very big, you got 10 billion. That's what you told Senator Dillon. You got 10 billion. How did you come about getting 10 billion? And you said, oh, I invested in stocks. Now, how big an investment in stocks do you have?
Mr. Chairman, my investment in
You know,
stocks has
you're
nothing
afraid
to
to
do with the
answer
10
because we
billion
can
of
check,
Pharmally.
right? Because we can check, right? And when we check, you'll be lying again. It's hard to lie.
Lying, Mr. Chairman.
What?
Lying, Mr. Chairman.
Huh?
That's the thing. We've been painted as liars, plunderers, scammers,
What
smugglers,
do you call
everything
it?
since day one.
You mean to tell me you got your cars just like that? While everybody's suffering, you got a nice car, you give it to your sister as a gift. You don't even pay your taxes. So how do I picture that? At the very least, I'll call you, you took advantage of a very bad situation in our country. And you're trying to say you're an angel? You're not an angel, my friend. Don't try to paint yourself something that you're clearly not. Now answer the question. I asked you a question.